New at 11 tonight, a controversial solution to fight crime in Atlanta's Edgewood neighborhood is coming to a close. Tonight we have an update on the proposed liquor license moratorium introduced by Atlanta City Council in January. Atlanta News First anchor Sydney Stallworth is live outside City Hall tonight with an update. Sydney?
Well, Blair, an Atlanta City Council District 5 spokesperson tells Atlanta News First that the proposal for a 180-day moratorium on any new liquor licenses along the Edgewood corridor has been permanently taken off the docket.
There are other ways for us to explore public safety in this area that is not a direct hit on how businesses operate.
A proposed 180-day moratorium blocking new alcohol licenses from being issued along the Edgewood Avenue corridor has been removed. The proposal came in the wake of a July 2025 mass shooting that killed one person and injured 10 others. In a statement sent to Atlanta News First, the chief of staff of the Atlanta City Council District 5 Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari's office says in part, quote, given the confusion and unnecessary consternation that the proposal had already generated, permanently filing the legislation was the right decision, and concerned business owners can rest assured that this is a settled matter. Some business owners we spoke with who've been vocal about their opposition to the moratorium for months are breathing a sigh of relief and looking ahead to other strategies to reduce crime in the area.
It's not a question of should we ban alcohol, it's a question of how do we have a premier destination, and that only happens when the businesses take the lead to make sure that their individual companies are running well and our streets are running well. That's where the city comes in at. Doing outright bans are not efficient ways of being able to tackle public safety.
Saray Daniel, owner of Sweet Me Good Artisan Bakery on Edgewood, goes on to tell me that businesses along Edgewood and the surrounding areas have come together and formed the historic King District Association. Just last week, the association met with the Atlanta Police Department.
We are putting together a public safety strategy that amplifies what they're doing and what the businesses are doing.
Now, I'm told the association and police discussed a couple of safety solutions, including improving lighting along the Edgewood corridor. Now, I'm also told that businesses are working to address homelessness in that area and host more daytime events for families. That's the very latest in downtown Atlanta. I'm Sydney Stallworth, Atlanta News First.